Hey guys, welcome back to Rossoneri TV. I am Joe and I'm here for the match review of AC Milan against Crotone, match I finished moments ago at the San Siro. Match valid for the fourth round of the Coppa Italia, where AC Milan won it 3-1 in extra time with goals coming in from Luiz Adriano, Bonaventura, and Niang. Now, of course, with this result, it means that Milan have progressed to the round of 16, where they will be facing Sampdoria in just a few weeks' time. But before we get into the match review, I just want to give a quick notice to the fans that weren't able to watch the game and might just look at the scoreline and say, okay, we won 3-1, must have been a good performance, we scored 3 goals, and overall we should be happy. However, these statements are not completely true. And that is because, despite the win, Milan played very, very poor. Their performance was poor. Everything was poor. I was getting really pissed off during the game watching it. And it shouldn't be like this. Because, once again, Milan underestimates teams like Crotone. Just because they play in the Serie B, it shouldn't be a team to underestimate. They knew before the game even started that Crotone is doing very well in the Serie B, and they might actually have the possibility of getting promoted to the Serie A next season. So there should be no reason to underestimate teams like these. And once again, Crotone, full credit to them. Even their coach mentioned it before the match. We're going to Milan not to take selfies or to exchange jerseys after the match, but we're going there to hopefully gain something and get a result out of it. And they very nearly did, because in my opinion, Crotone deserved way more. They got very unlucky in certain circumstances where for other teams or in other events, those chances could have definitely turned into goals. And Milan should consider themselves lucky, honestly speaking, to get a result out of nowhere today. So they had to leave it late. They had to get it in the extra time. And I guess a win is a win, but I was very disappointed with the way Milan played overall. Now, this result gives a message for both teams to their respective leagues. For Crotone, of course, they're sending a message to the Serie B saying, look, we went to the San Siro, we played against Milan, we very nearly got a result out of it, so you guys should be careful of us because we could obviously beat everyone. For Milan, on the other hand, many teams will once again question themselves over what this Milan side is actually capable of in the Serie A. Because once again, their inconsistency comes into play. Not getting the right motivation maybe for some players, not being themselves. I don't know what it is, but this once again sends a negative message to the Serie A. Well, for the other teams it's positive, but for Milan it's negative, because this inconsistency needs to stop and they need to play consistent and get the results consistently. Now, today, once again, we had to leave it late in the extra time, so we got lucky, but it could have easily turned the other way around and Crotone could have won this game. So, just to speak about the players a little bit, Mihajlovic decided to go with a different formation, the 4-3-3, which we've been using all around before the previous game against Sampdoria, and he decided to change all the players to give them a chance to express themselves. Certain players didn't get enough chances this season to prove themselves, and I completely understand that. But here's my message to Mihajlovic. He said that the Coppa Italia should remain an objective for Milan and that they should go as far as possible. And in my opinion, sure, they could do it, but Mihajlovic needs to reevaluate his decisions, because in my opinion, he needs to put certain players that are regular starters, along with substitutes, like we saw in the extra time with Niang and Bonaventura coming on. You will always need 2 or 3 players that regularly play in Milan in order to get the result, because today we saw 11 players, substitutes, that didn't get a chance in previous games, but technically speaking, they didn't play together all season round, so it's tough for these players. Once again, this should not be an excuse for Milan's performance, but this should be an evaluation done by Mihajlovic that should include certain regulars as well for Milan to get as far as possible in this competition. Once again, we're not playing in any European competitions at all this season, so I don't see a reason why certain players can't stress themselves to play a few games a week. Once again, to end this off, guys, this gives a big message to the fans once again, because we undervalued Crotone, but we have several fixtures up next where we're playing weak opposition. Teams are not doing very well in the standings, very weak, and we should not underestimate like we did today, because if we do underestimate, we know what the Serie A is. Shocking results occur every week. We saw this week with Atalanta beating Roma and so forth. So it should not be an excuse. We need to go into these games with full determination and play like we're playing against Juventus or Napoli or Inter, for example. And we need to go full throttle to beat these teams. So hopefully Milan learned their lesson. They got lucky this time around, but next time it might be very different. And hopefully we'll not see performances like these in the very near future, and especially in these upcoming games where these are must-wins and we should win them no matter what. So thank you for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to Rossoneri TV to stay updated with everything AC Milan. And I'll catch you guys next time. This has been Gio signing off from Rossoneri TV. And as always, Forza Milan.